So here you're going to learn how to do a basic gutter drain. Clear away your landscaping, decide on a good path. This particular customer, we're coming out about 12 feet from the wall to where the pop-up emitter is going to be in the lawn. The water is going to leach into the soil here, just over a slight berming in the grade, and run off down that way, away from the foundation of the home. We're going to begin by cutting in a trench as close to the wall as I can get. We're going to come past all the roots, dig up the grass in a trench and terminate it in a big hole right here in the yard.
Alternatively, for heavier duty applications, you could use PVC pipe and fittings. Just need to pay close attention to positive grade and keeping straight lines in your trench. That's useful in higher traffic areas.
Side tip, when you come across roots, maybe scrape them a little bit, dig out from around them. Make sure that these roots are not serviced by the local electric department.
We've got a little bit of natural grade here, which we're going to be working with to our advantage. But no matter what grade you have, neutral or positive grade, always point of entry higher than the point of exit. I'll also note that if you can help it, use a large roll of drain pipe. Try not to use the individual 10-foot sections, because if you do, you're going to have to couple them together. You're going to want to tape the seams, or else they'll get rooted, they'll get impacted with vegetation. So if you can make it to where the water goes in at point A and has no chance of leaving until point Z, you've done good. So all I want to do now is clean the trench. Clean up the bottom, make it a little bit flatter. We're not worried about putting gravel in it. It's not a French drain. I repeat, it is not a French drain. Two different things. All right, here you go. 4-inch solid pipe, again, not perforated. We've got it up high enough to where I can cut that off when my final down pipe comes into place. I've got plenty of fall to where it's going to come out to here. Come along this, step that down into your trench, make sure you've pushed it past any of your remaining little twigs and roots and spots. And get it out here. We're just going to leave that in the ground and bury that with dirt, seed it over, we're good to go. I'm just kidding. Don't ever do that. God, please quit doing that. Y'all are keeping me in business, everybody that's doing that. Don't bury these pipes without a termination point. Don't bury them without a point to empty the water, a pop-up emitter, an open hole. Daylight the thing somehow, but please stop burying them in the mud. That is ignorant, it is lazy, and it is stupid. Said what I said. A 4-inch emitter. I'd like to also point out that this is a full 4-inch flange, not the little 3-inch flanges that you can convert to put in here. That's also pretty lazy and ignorant. Don't do that. Go ahead and get the full 4-inch. We're going to put the adapter on that and snap this onto the pipe. And that pop-up emitter will sit flush with the grass, and all the water will come right out of that bad boy in a nice rain. One of the key points about what I just said to keep in mind is the fact that if you're only ever going to have purified water coming out of your gutters, you may be okay to bury them in the mud like that. But you're not. Shingle grit, tree debris, leaves, birds' nests, yada yada. It's just something you're going to have to work with. So you can't bury those directly in the mud. You need a daylight point. And another tip. Oftentimes these pop-up emitters do not actually have the right size flange to go onto a full 4-inch pipe like this. It just doesn't work that way. You're going to see some videos where the guys are going to take a hacksaw or a razor knife and split this pipe in a couple of places, smash it in, and squash it into that fitting. Don't do that either. That's just, it's lazy, it's kind of unprofessional first of all, and it creates a choke point for, again, trees and leaf debris and stuff to get hung up in the elbow before it ever comes out. Do yourself a favor and get the right fittings. This is the fitting you want. It adapts this 4-inch flange into this 4-inch pipe via this snap coupling. It keeps everything sturdy, connected really well, and a full opening for water and debris to pass through. If you do this, you can tape the end around with some drain tape, and it prevents anything from rooting in and damaging that seam. This tape is effectively glorified electrical tape. It's about 2 inches wide, stretchy, and very sticky. We're going to wrap this in about 3 or 4 rounds around the seam, make this a nice tight root-proof seam before we commit it to the ground. Alright, can you see that? Tightly wrapped tape all the way around the seam, overlapped and really snug. This guy's ready to go 6 feet under. Well, maybe 6 inches under. And if you can't find those particular fittings in your local store, you can get one of these internal snap couplings. Literally goes on the inside of this pipe and snaps in place. Same elbow fitting here. Snaps on there. Tape that seam and you're good to go. Just the same way we did in the front. Also, some might wonder about why this is in the bottom of the elbow. This would be basically a weep hole, so that when the water goes into this and it stops raining and it no longer has the pressure to push this out, any remaining water can weep through the bottom and leach into the soil. It's not completely necessary. You can tape that and seal that over. I usually just let these go straight into the dirt right here. You can wrap that with cloth. You can put gravel underneath it to help encourage the leaching action. Or like I said, just seal it over. It's not 100% necessary, and just causes another place where roots can get in and damage things. So honestly, let it bury straight into the dirt or wrap it up one way or the other. All right, so here we are at the next day. Got our down pipe straight into a 3x4x4 fitting into the 4-inch pipe. Finished grade out to a pop-up in the yard. We're ready to drain water. Put back your landscaping and make everything look nice and throw down some seed and you got a winner. There you go. Thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next go round. Bye.